feels like a hemorrhoid. Did you sit on it? All right. And my cigarettes are out. Don't start if you haven't. No, do start. The iPhones are amazing and gum. Okay, good. And a lighter with a beaver on it. So hello, I'm Nicholas Brendon. The one and the only, except for my twin, who's not here. I am going to entertain you. I'm going to answer questions, and I'm probably going to curse a lot. So if anyone has any problem with cursing, fuck off. So I'm not sure how this is. I don't know. Is there? God damn! Is this loud? Jesus. Wow. Is there a microphone to ask questions, or do they just yell them? Oh, you behind the scenes shit going on right now. And you can ask me Stanley questions too. Just pretend I'm him.
Stanley? No.
Well, I'm a big fan of me. I heard you saying that. I love me. And when you're as big a fan of Stan as I am, being Stan, it's hard to pick just one. They're all equally as amazing, because I am amazing. I did actually write a webcomic called Very Bad Koalas as Nicholas Brendon with my writing partner. So if you guys haven't checked that out, it's called verybadkoalas.com. The first 26 episodes are up. So just hit that, www.verybadkoalas.com. I wanted to do .com, but apparently that doesn't exist. Okay, there's a man in an orange shirt over here. Hello, orange shirt man. So if anyone has any questions, please approach the man slowly in the orange shirt, or just yell them out. We have some takers in the front row.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Nicholas. First of all, I saw this outside at the booth, and I thought of you and had to get it for you. That's your Xander from the last season. It's Pirate Xander.
Is it?
It's a ghost.
It's like for the Pac-Man?
I think it's a Pac-Man.
It's a Pac-Man ghost. That's awesome.
But I saw it because it only had the patch, and I thought of you.
What flavor is it?
Wood?
Yeah, it's exactly what it tastes like. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I stopped eating wood back in second grade. No, it really is adorable.
As you know, I'm a big fan, and I asked you yesterday what you got asked the most to do, and so I'm just going to put it out there first. You said the thing you got asked the most to do.
The Snoopy dance.
Was the Snoopy dance.
Yeah.
Second was, I thought would be singing your song, which you sang a couple of lines.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm never asked to sing that.
Well, that's what I thought would be. I thought would be your biggest thing would be having you sing.
Me too, but apparently people don't want to hear that.
I'm so glad to have you sing.
Hold on, let me see. Hold
so
on.
either one, if you want to sing or Snoopy dance,
Well, I was actually singing. You know, every time I sing it, I get chills, because I'm such a big fan of me. I mean, when you hear that voice come out of this body, I would say, hold on, because my favorite. Hold on. She snores, she wheezes. Say housework and she sneezes. She eats these skeezy cheeses that I can't describe. She doesn't know it pleases. His penis got diseases from the Shumash tribe. The vibe gets kind of scary. Like she thinks I'm ordinary, like but it's all very well, cause God knows I'll never tell. But my favorite was like at the end where I start to get this. What's that? The vibe is kind of scary. Hold on. Is she looking for a pot of gold? I'm doing the dance in my head. When it all becomes successful, and then David Brady, am I crazy? I'm just gonna do this for an hour. Am I married? It's the part that I'm crawling on the table. Whenever I sing that part, I kind of get tear up and get chills. I cried today in my room for some reason. I'm trying to figure out what happened. No, it was like a Hallmark moment. I was watching I think somebody, well, can we give it up for Peter Falk, by the way, who passed away yesterday? The coolest one-eyed white man ever. I wonder if he's going to be cremated. Well, I just wondered, like, will they take the glass eye out and then, I mean, the auction it? Oh, I should go, it should really go to the Smithsonian. And also we should give New York an applause too for that. It's been a big day. I mean, I live in Venice, and I left to come to beautiful Albuquerque on Thursday, but on Wednesday, I went to my Starbucks, my local Starbucks. I've got two within maybe half a block on Main Street. And they said, hey, Nick, how are you? I'm like, hey, good, how are you? He's like, did you hear what happened last night? I'm like, no, what happened last night? So that guy, apparently the guy that Jack Nicholson played in The Departed, was caught like two blocks from where I live. And then like two people got murdered in Venice. You know, it was a gang shooting. I'm like, oh my God, it was a big day. I didn't know how big this capture of Whitey was. I just love saying Whitey. Go Whitey. Yeah, but I cried, and it was, I think someone passed away. But anyway, I digress. Now I'm going to regress. Question. Wow, this front row is on fire right now, because it's another one and boom.
I'm wondering about all your tattoos. I noticed I have one here.
I do.
Where else?
I have Jesus surfing.
Okay.
Don't get wet. No, can you get in on close on that? Here. Let's see. Can you get in tight on that? There we go. And then these are all, this is Kelly, my twin brother, and I, sword fighting. I know, could it be gayer? And then these angels are my little brothers, Christian and Kyle. So it's a bunch of angels and then Jesus surfing. I was actually, this one was the last one I got, but I was at a Dodger game with my ex-girlfriend. And I was wearing a V-neck t-shirt, which I'm apt to wear, and some guy was throwing peanuts at me at the Dodger game saying, nice t-shirt, fag. And then he's like, and then I'm like, what? And then he keeps spelling me, he's like, nice angel tattoos. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I guess he's right, I am wearing a V-neck t-shirt and I've got angel tattoos. So I'm like, I need to man it up a little bit. So I'm like, I came up with the idea of Jesus surfing. It's about as manly as I get, you know? I'm like, Jesus, he walks on water, but not in Indonesia. I might pay for that when I'm at the pearly gates, but whatever, it's a great story right now. Did I answer your question? Was there a question? Oh, the tattoo, yes, of course, thank you. That's ADD without taking medication right there. Front row's on fire, front row's on fire.
Okay, I'm going to turn it back to Buffy for a minute.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, out of all the 7 years, what was your favorite scene to shoot or your favorite moment or...
We should probably, we'll take the musical out of the equation. Okay. I think my favorite acting on it was when I played Renfield. When I became that guy. Because I really did, and it was like, because, you know, when you're doing a character for 7 years, you know, I became Xander, and Xander was me, so I didn't really have to do much homework. I would just kind of look at the lines and then say, okay, you know, because we have time in between scenes to really kind of learn our lines. But with Renfield, I knew that he talked really fast, and so I had to really have my lines down. But there are a couple moments in there. I remember when I had confronted Dracula, and then he made me his bitch, you know? I'm like, hey, you know, and then it's like, yes, whatever you say, master. And then when I'm in Giles' apartment, and it's like, oh, this will not please the master. Bader, you know? There's just something, I just really love shooting that episode. And then the Zeppo was a lot of fun. I remember when I cry a lot. I cry a lot, and I take baths. Never at the same time, though. And when I read the Zeppo, I was at a different Starbucks in Hollywood, and I had finished it, and I started crying, because I'm like, oh, Xander's grown up a little bit. But my least favorite was, I remember we were doing that episode where all the girls were attracted to me. But right before that happens, there's a scene where, and you kind of become your character a little bit, and I remember my scene was the next scene up, So they call you to set early, so you're kind of hearing everyone, you know, and all the girls were just like, you know, at high school were talking about how I was such a nerd and all this, and I'm like, you know, and you take it a little bit, you know, it's like, man, you know, they're talking about me like that. And I told Joss, I'm like, you can do whatever you want to do with me. You know, you can put me in a bra, you can put me in female garments, whatever. Just don't ever have my character have halitosis, because I don't want to ever be associated with bad breath. It's true. That's the only thing I said you can't do. I don't know why, but I'm just that was my sticking point right there. Front row again. That's weird. Wait, is there a third row after this? Did you have your hand? Nice job.
Well, first of all, I wanted to welcome you to Albuquerque.
Thank you.
And
It's hot as balls.
yes, it is. It so is. My question is also taking you back to Buffy, and I was curious about how you felt about the characterization with Xander progressing over the 7 seasons, and how he kind of becomes the Watcher. How did you feel about that, whereas the other characters seemed to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
Yeah, well, I like staying. I like the fact that I'm the only character that didn't have any special powers. You know, so I'm unique that way. And I didn't like his construction phase. I just don't look good in a hard hat. I really don't, you know? But I liked Joss did it's funny if you look at things that Joss is involved in, you know, because, you know, I mean, Angel was a great show, but it wasn't Buffy because, you know, he was kind of there, but not really there. But, you know, to have me lose my eye and to have my power be the one that, well, watches. So it's kind of, you know, and then that goes right into being the Watcher. But the funny thing is, apparently, I'd heard this. I've heard rumors that Xander was going to be the gay one instead of Willow. And I heard rumors just from you guys. I didn't hear that from Joss. But I did hear from a very, very reliable source that Joss wanted to kill Xander. And then the writers, I guess, talked him out of it. And they said that the fans probably wouldn't be happy with that. So he said, then fuck it, he's losing his eye. Okay. That's a bitch, by the way. Do we have any one-eyed people here? Nice, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to walk around with one eye. You walk into things and bruise yourself. Yeah, yes. Well, oh, yes. Oh, you don't have one eye, you have a question. Is it about your one eye? I came out of my mom's vagina, probably wanted to be an actor. I had a top hat. What's this? It's just the placenta. Yeah, I just made it into a little top hat. That's disgusting. You got it? Yeah. Is it right hand? Does it matter? Right-handed? Yeah, right-handed. My mom was an agent when I was growing up, and she back when Hollywood was a bit different, but she handled this guy named Al Montanaro, who played Al on Happy Days. So, and then she also handled the father on Laverne and Shirley. So, as a kid, I was going to the set of Happy Days and seeing from behind the set, you know, and then it's like you go in front. I'm like, oh my God, this is really magical. But I had a pretty bad stutter, and I kind of fell in love with baseball because I didn't have to talk at all. But I knew that once I quit playing baseball that I would start acting, and I was 20 years old when that happened. I walked off the baseball field, quit college, quit baseball. I called my mom. I said, bring me home a script of Growing Pains. Because I liked Kirk Cameron's delivery, and I'm like, and I had this old, like, video camera, you know, like from like 1981, probably, you know, like this big. And I would use it to it didn't have any sound, like you couldn't hear yourself. But I would use it, I would put it in my backyard, and I would tape my swing with it so I can then like look at my swing and see if I had any problems with my swing. And then I took that camera when I stopped playing baseball, and I put it in the corner of my room, and I started acting in front of it to see if I looked decent enough to act. So that camera had a big significance in my life. I wonder where that camera is right now. It's a long time ago. So I always knew like there was a really kind of cool shine on acting, like a bling, but I wasn't ready to bling until I quit playing baseball. I can only do one thing at a time really well, or fairly well. You're welcome. Yes.
Wait.
What? Oh, hey!
It's
Oh,
me.
that's right, following the rules.
Yes. I'm third row.
You're on
over there.
timeout.
First of all, I just want to thank you for coming to Albuquerque, and I just have to tell you, you made one of my best friends incredibly happy today because she finally got to meet you, and it's been like her lifelong dream.
Which one?
So, right there.
Hi. Stand up. Everyone. She's very happy woman. There we go.
Her life is complete now, I got to tell you. But, and I love you too.
Thank you.
So, we were watching the Nightmare episode, where...
Well, yeah, that's the one with the ice cream truck and
Yes.
The apocalypse now. I need to get up.
No, actually not that one.
It's
the,
on that.
with
That's
the clowns and the...
Oh, the clown one. The cheese. No, that's the cheese platters. That's the same.
No.
Clowns. That's the thing.
Clowns. Okay, well,
I was great in that episode.
Yes, of course you were. The dream episode where the little kid was...
With the clown.
With the clown.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm almost terrified of this answer just because I know your sense of humor. But what is your biggest... What would your nightmare be? If your nightmare came to life, what would be happening to you?
Oh God. I would be in prison. Do you guys hear that? And I'll answer this at some point. But in Dubai, this guy from New Zealand who's living there, as he's a financier or a banker, was dating this one girl, and then they broke up, this Brazilian girl, and then he started dating this English woman that was there, and they were in his apartment, and then the Brazilian came over to his apartment and like knocked down his door and kicked it down, and he called the police, and they all three were arrested for having a relationship before being married. And the guy's doing 2 months in prison, and the women are doing 1 month apiece, and the women have become best friends now. Is that crazy? They actually, like, at the English consulate, it says you can't really hold hands, you can't do anything with a woman, and he paid the price. So, my nightmare would be living in Dubai. And I thought I wanted to go to Dubai, but man, I would get in a lot of trouble in Dubai, I think. Just to see how far I could take it. But then you realize that when they lock you in a cell, it's like I was just kidding, There's this like public pool by my house that's on PCH, and kids go there. A lot of kids go there, and it was this old fancy house. Marion Davies used to live there, and Hertz built it for her. And so the house was demolished in the '94 quake, but the pool is original. So I was with my best friend Hope, and there are kids everywhere, and I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if I just kind of like went behind a kid and just picked it up and started running, and then dropped it off like 60 feet later and said, I'm just kidding, It's the kind of stuff that I think of, Just joking. I think you go to jail for that kind of stuff. Especially in Dubai. Though, from what I understand, Saudi Arabia does not have an age of consent. And I think Spain is 13. Well, I don't know why. These are facts that I don't know why I know. I just find it mind-boggling. And apparently Romeo and Juliet was written as a comedy. Go figure. Yes. There's a float. Yes, you. Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't have like a lot of you weren't like, it wasn't like Buffy, kicking everybody's ass, but you did have a lot of physical.
I got beat up a lot, yeah.
Yeah. But did you have a stunt double? Like,
yeah,
you did.
Kelly, my twin brother was my stunt double for the last 3 years.
That's what I thought.
Of the show.
Yeah.
And his first stunt, he actually dislocated his shoulder.
Ouch.
And it was the first one, and so I did my acting, and then we, when he was on set doing my stunts, I would share my trailer with him. And so I had closed the door, and you do, when you're the series regular on an hour-long show, you do a lot of napping. And so I was kind of going into that like little REM thing. It was probably about 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and I'm like, and I hear it, and I'm like, come in. It's like, okay, so once you know, Kelly's okay. Where is his briefcase? I'm like, what do you tell you? He's like, he has hurt himself. And I come out, and Kelly's arm, he had dislocated his shoulder, and it was like up and around his arm like that. And you can see he's starting to shake, and he's going into shock and stuff. And he went to UCLA, it's on Santa Monica Boulevard, and it popped back in. And then they fired him. And I'm like, come on, guys, So then they gave him another shot, and he ended up doing my stunts. But I did, there was an episode called Teacher's Pet where the giant praying mantis needed my virgin sperm. Like any show, you know what I mean? And there was a scene, and that was the first, you know, we were all new. You know, Joss was new, you know, like everyone, we were all new. And there was a scene where she after I'm drugged after talking about the shawarma. I mean, what is that, you know? She drags me, and then I go downstairs, you know, I fall down the stairs. I'm like, oh, I can do this, you know? Because it's just like when I was a kid, Kelly and I would fall downstairs all the time in horseplay. Which, by the way, I was swimming in my pool yesterday, and like rule number 4 is no running, no horseplay. Like in the pool rules. Is that a real word that they use for like, you know, no lifeguard on duty, no horseplay? Horseplay has made it into the vernacular where it's okay. So Kelly and I would horseplay, and so I'm like, I've got this stunt. It's cool. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in the first season, I felt that Xander should wear every ring known to man. I had a ring on every single finger. I'm like, well, you know, he was also a skateboarder too, which happened in the first episode. So I go down the stairs, and I just kind of like, you know, do it, like kind of lean over and do it, and then like all my rings just fly off me, like 2 embed into the concrete wall, which is made of wood, really. And I just realized that this is stupid. Why would they ever let me do this, you know? It was just dumb. So then, you know, it's basically like whenever there was anything remotely, because I know, I forgot, one of our stunt guys got really hurt. Some chandelier fell on him. But, I mean, it just got to the point where, you know, first season you're really gung-ho, it's like, go do it, and like by season 4, it's like, I just need a break, you know? And I remember, like, I tell this story, like, by season 7, you just kind of, it was such a blessing to be a part of that show. And I think, like, everybody has a tendency, because it's to me, it's one of the best shows of all time. So to be, like, there, and, you know, and as we just become, like just creatures of what we're surrounded by for over 5 years, I would tell anyone who would listen, like, guest cast, you know, because we had this little compound in Santa Monica, and there was, like, barbed wire, you know, that would kind of surround the whole compound. And I would tell people, it's like, you see that barbed wire? And like, yeah. It's like, it's supposed to keep people out, but it's keeping me in. You know, and this is like the best show of all time, you know? It's just stupid. I go from doing my own stunt and having rings embedded into the concrete to, that shit's keeping me in, you know? Just appreciate what you have at all times. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, greenie. What? No, yellowy. And then greenie.
Hey, thanks. So I had a question. I was watching the Firefly DVD a few months back, and Jane Espenson and like everyone on there was talking about Summer Glau and how easy she had it because there was so little drama on the set and how great it was for her to get along with all of her cast members and stuff like that. And being that it was Jane Espenson, the only stuff I ever really seen her in is Joss Whedon's work. I was wondering, was there any drama on the set of Buffy, or if there was, at least something funny that you could tell?
Is drama really funny? You know, if you want to watch, you know, get some drama, watch TNT. They know drama. You know, we had a lot of personalities. Sarah had to work her ass off. So I totally understand why she wanted to quit, you know, at the end of it. You know, you can take from that what you will. You know, Firefly did only do 13 episodes. And there were a lot more guys than there were girls on that show. Once there's I'll tell you, I don't know, because I did a show called Kitchen Confidential, and that was dude heavy, and it was a lot of strong personalities on that, you know. But there's just, I don't know what it is about guys getting along better than a group of girls getting along. So. Guys are awesome. That's right. Penis rocks. How do you say penis rocks? You say it like this. Okay. Can you draw that for me? Because I'm so. Yeah, because I just want to. Yeah, you have to give me. Yeah, that'd be great. Because then I could say it and people won't even know what I'm saying. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's answering that question. Greenie.
So taking it away from Buffy for a minute, how was it working with Kirsten Banks and everybody at Criminal Minds?
I love that show. I mean, I love that. I love Kevin Lynch, the character, because he's a lot like Xander. You know, I mean, like I'm supposed to be in the first episode coming up, and I think that got delayed to the second episode. Yeah, no, it's funny. They called and they booked me, and I'm like, oh, sweet, you know, because I'm going out of town, so I had to be back on July 6th to shoot it, and then I get a text the next day. Sorry, we're over budget. We'll have you in the next episode. I'm like, do you guys understand how popular these characters are? You know, you're just not getting it. Penis rocks. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Right, okay. So, you know, it's kind of like on the season finale last year, that whole rant about sheep, you know, it's just, you know, and buying the farm, you know, doesn't that mean we're dead? It's like, you know, but those sheeps with the black and the white body, you know, because I'm allergic to wool. You know, I love that kind of Woody Allen, like, just neurotic thing, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen Midnight in Paris, Woody Allen's film, see it. I'm not particularly a Woody Allen fan. He's a little too neurotic for me, but it's got a time machine in it. So I mean, it's really see it. I thought it was one of the best films I've ever seen in my life before, and I'm gonna see it again tonight because there's a movie theater over here. Yeah, it's really amazing. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. As long as they chase me for all the right reasons. I have a Platinum American Express. Those are the right. That's all. That's that. I just want to be loved for that. You know. Red? Is it red?
I wasn't sure if you've read any of the season 8 comics or aware of what's going on in there, but I was wondering how you felt about Xander's relationship with Dawn right now.
Well, this is how I felt about it until I saw Trachtenberg and Maxim, because she's grown up. I gotta tell you, I don't know if those breasts are real or not, but they're amazing. But I still see Michelle as the 13-year-old who had the first day on set. So when I'd heard about it, I was like, that's kind of weird, you know? But in Spain, it's okay. So yeah, I was, you know, definitely kind of, yeah, I was taken aback by it. But again, then I saw her spread, whatever they call it, the photo thing. She grew up, man. Whitey. Yeah, that's you. What, is that a light blue? Is that a gray, or is that a cream? What is it? White with blue stripes. Vertical or horizontal? Okay, good.
I was wondering how it's working with Anthony Michael Head and Joss Whedon. I know you probably heard this question millions of times before, but I don't know.
Tony is I love Tony. You know, he's so pretty. I mean, really, that guy can. Remember when he was like the half goat for a bit? I remember that, like walking in heels. He really knows. The man can work heels. And he's just was so lovely, you know. And it was, I think it was season 6 and 7 when he wasn't there. As you know, it was so nice. Like those first 4 years, just kind of having like the core, you know. And then when Tony was like half on, half off, I was really saddened by it, you know, because it's like it was the first sign that the show wasn't going to last forever, you know, and that was kind of hard for me. And then Joss is just, you know, there's a way he's got this kind of like, you know, he's like Megamind, you know, and he does want to take over the world, you know, one film or show at a time, you know. So it's, you know, it's kind of like it's hard not to feel inferior, you know.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Do you think they're ever going to start Kitchen Confidential again?
You know, yeah, I think Coop is really upset with his movie career, you know. So well, he'll get right on that. I was really bummed when that show was canceled because it was all political. They'd changed Fox studio changed heads, and the new head of Fox didn't like Darren Star. So that was, and then, but like feeling the pillow slowly being, it wasn't a quick death. It was a slow death. Bastards. I love you, Fox. Red.
So part of what was great about your character, great about Joss Whedon, is the witty dialogue. In the episode Hush, the one where everyone loses their voices, what was it like, or how did you adapt to that, since part of your character was that dialogue, to not speaking?
Well, it made doing homework easier. But also, when you get a script, you've got your lines, and then you've got, it's like the bullshit action. What's going on, So you had to read that, actually, But it was one of those things that it's like, oh, we're going to do a silent episode. That's, it was like every week it was like the only show that I've been on where, with the crew, because after 5, 6, 7 years, the crew doesn't want to read scripts anymore. And they only like the heads, like the costuming head, or the gaffer, like the person who's in charge of the lights, or the DP. The head of the department would read the scripts on a different show, but on Buffy, everyone read them and was delighted they couldn't wait for it to come out, So, again, what was the question?
How did you adapt your character to not speaking when a big
Well, it was, I just always just adapted. I mean, that was cool. I mean, I remember the one thing with and it wasn't Bitka in that too? Well, I remember I said Bitka, but I just remember like the masturbating thing. How do you say that? Masturbate. All right.
No training necessary.
Blue, yeah. It should be. Blue.
Going back to you saying that you're a part of Xander's character, and seeing that this is a comic expo, what is your favorite comic?
What is my favorite comic? Seeing that this is a comic expo. Very Bad Koalas is my favorite. I wasn't a comic guy. I started playing baseball really early. So, and that just kind of kept me out of trouble, and kept me in as a fine physical specimen for a long time. I tried reading Archie once. And I remember I was in Big Bear, which is a little a mountain resort about 2 hours outside of Los Angeles. And I was probably like 7 or 8, and it was snowing outside, and it was just a nice warm light, and it was the perfect. I mean, talk about like this a great environment to really get into something. So I opened up Archie, and I'm like, I don't like this, So that was it. I just didn't. I tried, and then I what's that? Spike? Spider-Man. Well, had they asked me to play Spider-Man, I probably would have read it. It's actually funny, because at the same time, I forgot what season it was, but I was at this agency, and there was like a big online thing for me to play Spider-Man. So I called my agent, and I'm like, Leslie, we should maybe kind of like, check this out. And she's like, no, Nikki, you're busy with Buffy and this and that. Well, Leslie had 4 clients, me, David Schwimmer, Kyle Chandler, and Tobey Maguire. So, and then like a week after I made that phone call, it was announced that Tobey was playing Spider-Man. So, no, Nikki, you're busy with Buffy. Yeah, okay. I get it. No. A scary white thing. What is that?
It's a Batman villain, Hush.
Oh, good.
My question is...
You really moving... That's good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, nice job. You're freaky.
There was a lot of talk about, a little bit ago, about you doing a Evil Dead remake.
Right.
With you playing,
Ash.
Yeah. And I was wondering, is that still in the works or talks or anything?
It's still people are still talking about it, and just I think if you keep talking about it, I mean that's the great thing about this our generation now, is that people actually listen to what's out there in the Ethernet. It didn't work with Spider-Man, but we can maybe have it work with Evil Dead. So you guys, nice job with Spider-Man. I think I saw a hand go up over here. Was I? Yep, I wasn't.
Would you be open to a cameo on Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. I love playing nerds. I do. I mean, I was doing, I think Criminal Minds and Thomas Gibson is the lead of that show. I've known him for years and years, and I was just kind of just doing like the last scene, and I just kind of being all goofy and stuff, you know. And then, you know, the elevator closes, and then it opens up, and I walk Thomas. I'm like, I don't want to be like a male lead ever, you know? Being goofy is so much fun. It doesn't pay as well, but it's just so much more fun or funner? More funner. Okay. I think he's wearing a shiny thing. Shiny man. Who's my role model? Tommy Lee Jones. No. God, I wish I had one. Because I think I need one. I mean, to be quite honest with you. I mean, acting, it's kind of Cary Grant and Jack Lemmon. Because that's what I got into acting, really watching their stuff. And I like, you know, I mean, I'll never be as pretty as Cary Grant, but he was really great at what he did. And then Jack Lemmon is kind of like the everyday guy, you know? I just never got really kind of hot on like this generation of even though, you know, I enjoy them, there's just something really kind of magical about that era of Hollywood to me, where the studios owned you and you were a slave. Just want to say, I like being owned. Own me, own me. Oh yeah, own me, own me. How do you say own me? Is it that way? Yeah, own me, like that. You gotta get it closer to this guy. I mean, this is where the magic is.
Well, I was just wondering, what do you think about them wanting to remake Buffy so soon?
You know, if Joss Whedon isn't involved, it's not gonna do well. You know? I mean, you could... I think, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything that nobody doesn't know. I mean, you can even, you know, Joss could, it would be great if it were all of the original characters, but Joss is so good that he can make you love other characters too if it were a Buffy without us. You know, I mean, Joss is the main component, and without that, you're building a house with glue on sand somewhere in Louisiana. Or North Dakota right now. Isn't there some bad shit happening in North Dakota? Did I hear Joss? Yeah, he's shooting the movie. Yeah. There is also a thing too where it's like, hey, you know, Mickey Brendon should play the Hulk. That didn't happen. Yeah, I'll just walk on. Hey, Joss, I won that Pepsi contest. Security. But Joss, remember our days together? But it's Saturday. They're not shooting today. Joss is probably at home right now, actually. He's got kids, you know. I mean, Albuquerque's great and all, but...
Is there any chance that the TV crew will ever come back together for a full-length feature film?
Well, you know, there's stranger things have happened. You know, I mean, it's whenever anyone is asked, no one ever says no. You know, so I think, you know, Joss is busy doing the Avengers right now, and then you know, he loves the character. You know, I mean, he's still writing the comic books. He has a definite affinity with Buffy, which is great. You know, because it's a great piece to, you know. I remember like first hearing how he came up with it was that he was getting sick of like the blonde going into a dark alley and, you know, not coming out. You know, so he wanted a blonde to go into a dark alley and come out.
I had a question as far as when you were working with Allison, well, actually, currently, have you thought of any kind of storyline in How I Met Your Mother where you could come back as like a past love interest or something, like kind of write yourself into that story?
Yeah, no, it's just, it actually it would be called the Nicholas Brendon Show. I would come in. I auditioned, I auditioned for, because I met with them, and the two guys were huge fans of Buffy, so somebody from that cast was going to be on that show, and it happened to be Allison, but I remember telling them when I met the guys, I met for actually Jason Segel's role. And that would have been weird, you know, Allison and me. And Jason's not doing bad now. And I remember I met with him. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to read for you in a second, but here's my pitch to you. Okay. So we'll go 6 or 7 years. On episode 100, you're going to kind of cut back, and you're going to see that this family's being held hostage. You know, Bob Saget isn't really Bob, you know, it's basically, and so they've been fed this. So it's like at gunpoint. This is the story. I don't have any. Maybe, wasn't he like a weatherman or something? Yeah, maybe like as another weatherman. But who brings the weather with him? So I'll bring in some like sci-fi aspects to it. I think, is that a blue shirt in the back? Is it white? Is it a white V-neck? It's a shirt. The man with a shirt in the back.
Ninja Turtle shirt. Anyway, I was just wondering if you've ever had any weird experiences with your fans.
Any weird experiences with my fans? I mean, I've gotten 6 of them pregnant, so that's weird. But none in this country, so that's so... I'm not going back to South America again, I can tell you that. You know, I was actually asked by my lovely little handler list that being a guy, I don't really have weird experiences. Everyone's really lovely, you know. Sometimes people, when you're at the table, like in New York especially, they linger. And sometimes people don't shower. And it's usually the ones who don't shower linger. So, what else? Nothing, man, nothing. You know, and you don't want to be rude, but it's like, when I say linger, I'm talking like between 5 and 8 minutes of lingering, you know? But I don't have, everyone is, you know, really, really respectful and lovely. I love my fans, you know? It's great. I mean, like, how horrible of a job is this, you know? To go out and meet you guys and have people tell me that I don't suck. Not bad, you know? Then I go home to LA and that's why I cry. I wish I could be with you guys all the time. Movie. You know, he doesn't need a microphone because he's bone. Well, hold on. I just spit all over this microphone. Whoopsies. Do you still talk to Joss Whedon? I talked to Joss about a year ago. It's kind of like it was. I think it was it during? About a year ago. I mean, like we all stay in contact, you know. But he's a busy boy. He's very, 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 very busy. The second part to that, then, who do you stay in contact with the most? Is there someone that you were friends with on the show that you're still really good friends with? You know, I see, just because of these lovely events, I see James a lot, and I see Charisma and Claire Kramer, who played Glory. And then, you know, it's funny because David got Bones. Allie got How I Met Your Mother, and I got Kitchen Confidential, all in the same pilot in the same season, and we were all shooting on the Fox lot. Yeah, Allie was here, I was shooting here, and David was shooting here, and then those 2 shows stayed, and then I was asked to leave, and then I had to get back my parking pass, you know. So everyone, you know, for the most part, is really busy. What's wrong? Where have I failed? I know, true. And not bad, you know, I was a late ad, you know? People said, I only found out 2 days ago you were going to be here. I said, so did I. Way back there. Do you just want to say hi? No, I had a question, but I didn't want to yell. So yell. How are you? Good, how are you? Great. Thanks for the question. Okay.
Yeah, I have a personal question that's just a bit of closure for me. It came up about a year and a half ago.
Ointment, dude.
Yeah.
They make cream. And also penicillin works.
Oh, no. I'm sure you'd be familiar with that. But,
That's why I'm here.
Well played, sir. Do you go to 4chan?
Do I what?
Okay. Well, that answers that question.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Have you ever been to an image board which is fairly popular?
No. What is an image board?
Okay then.
Why was I? Where's that question come from?
Well, about a year and a half ago, I was on said image board, and we had like a list of celebrities who we assumed would be there, just lurking around, getting shits and giggles or ideas for movies, comics, shows, things like that. And your name popped up.
There are a lot of fake me's.
Oh, well.
I've come to discover.
Good luck eliminating them.
I don't even own, like, I have to do, like, my what's it called? Website is actually nickbrendon.com because somebody, and I met him, bought nicholasbrendon.com, like year one of Buffy. So I can't even use my real name. And I've got about, like, I think, like 10 or 15 Facebooks. They're all me. Facebook guy number 7 wants to answer a question right now. Yes? No, like there's a green and a red, right? Yeah, I was supposed to get a burrito this morning. If I'm not mistaken. But should I get the Christmas one or should I get the green? Green, that's what I'm thinking. How hot do I like my food, huh? I like it balls hot. Where should I get it? I've heard about the Frontier. I heard it closes from 2 to 5 because people get stabbed. Yeah, go to the Frontier at 2:30. Okay. They break it off inside. I've been to the prison before. I know how they work. The last thing I need to do is get shivved again. Run, man, run! I just sound like Don Pardo. Run!
Shits and giggles, someone over there raise their hand. Please, you can't run, let's go. But no, back to Buffy and just as random, but in the Bizarro worlds where you become a vampire, what was that? Did you enjoy that, you know, with all this time being a slayer and killing vampires, and now you get to play one on TV?
I did. It's nice because whenever you have a prosthetic on your face and like fake teeth in, you're not yourself, you know? Because sometimes when you're acting in front of a camera, you do get a little bit self-conscious. It's like, oh, you know, and you realize what's your good angle, you know? Yeah, the only bitch to that was that when they, no. I was fine with that. No, but actually doing the prosthetic, getting it done, I just went to this like archaic place that they literally, for such a small piece, they kind of cover you up with, you know, and then they cover your lips, you know, in a big bondo, you know, stuff that they make casts out of. And then they kind of cover everything, and they hit your hair and stuff, and then they come down, and then they cover your eyes. And this is now, we're 20 minutes in, and then they kind of cover, and they put 2 straws up your nose, and then they cover your nose. And you have to wait like 10 or 15 minutes with this thing hardening, and I just about freaked out. I realized then that I was claustrophobic. And I almost tore it off. It was brutal. That was the worst part of it. And also, I don't like sitting in the makeup chair too long. So, I did an episode of, or 5 episodes of Private Practice where I played this rapist last year. And it's good times, check it out. But I get stabbed. And so if anyone saw it, like, my whole chest was a prosthetic, so they had to kind of do that thing. And it took five hours to put on. And I'm like, Christ, I know. I had to sit in a makeup chair in a Hollywood trailer for 5 hours. I did, a lot of money. And they're talking Emmy, but it gets really hot in that thing. I just meditate.
So I just wanted to mention that the one where all the women are following you is my second favorite after.
Wait, which one?
Once More with You. The one where when the love spell gone wrong, where all the women are in love with you.
I love that
It's
that
awesome.
like slow motion scene.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
where that
yes,
starts
that's
on
my
the
favorite.
feet. Yeah,
Yep.
I love that.
My question is, what do you like to do for entertainment? Do you have favorite movies or shows, books, video games, hobbies?
I'm a fairly avid reader. I'm on a big what the fuck is his name? The guy who wrote the L.A. Confidential. Elroy, James Elroy. I'm on a big Elroy kick right now. I surf. I've been known to write poetry. I like to work out. I write too. I like going to like dog pounds and stuff, and knowing which dogs are going to be put to sleep the next day. They need love too. I just give them a lot of love. I can't take them home, but I should give them a little love. Before, no, I don't do that. I did do a movie in Nova Scotia, and right across the way was Newfoundland, where they actually do and are proud of clubbing baby seals. And you can get a T-shirt that says "I heart clubbing baby seals," and I skipped that. I didn't do that. But is that it? And I live in Venice, so I like kind of like running on the beach and kind of walking on the beach, and I love sushi and Korean barbecue and roller coasters. Yes, you can do it. I can't hear you.
So you said Xander was like a really personal character for you. Like, who did you want him to end up with mostly? Like,
Joss came really close to having Buffy and Xander end up together. And then Sarah and I think, also wanted that as well. But then, but it's funny, like Joss just can't have his characters end up content, And that's the great thing about him. Like he would, my character was so awesome because, like you'd either be like really sad or terrified, and then he would kind of pull and then you would laugh. He was really good at that. And he also loved killing people. And he never wants anyone to be, and Xander would have been a great kill. It would have really, for what he wants to do and manipulate you people, it would have been awesome. You would have hated him, but yet you would have loved him at the same time. Me too. Oh shit, where's my, it's this air. We're like a mile up, and I'm not used to it. Damn it, that sucks. It's like, like when you have a thought and it's like a bird that's flying away, and then you just try and get it and you never get it. No, I had so much more to say. What was your question again? Thank you. I totally lost that. I would have loved to have, I think the Xander Buffy thing would have been great, especially for all, like, the geeks out there, like the people in high school that weren't cool. And I was one of those people, I was not cool at all. It's hard to be cool when you talk like that, But I could hit a baseball. Hey, listen, I overcame it, and then I, became the spokesperson for the National Studying Foundation. I think, Joss is, I would never second guess anything that Joss did. So I'm gonna have to say Dawn. Yellow. Emma. But Eliza. Eliza would just be the best across the board.
I guess the question is, what's your favorite non-traditional work? Like something we don't know about. Like, what's your favorite piece? Like maybe a movie that you did that was totally indie, or a show that we don't even know about. Like, what's some of your favorite stuff from that?
Have you guys seen a Japanese movie called The Audition? That's good stuff. That's good. Probably the Real Housewives of Orange County. And New Jersey. And Beverly Hills. But not Manhattan. Those girls are catty. I was sick I was actually taking that Chantix pill to quit smoking, and it just floored me. Literally, my insides were cooking and I was flop sweating. So I just kind of put myself in front of the TV, not knowing that it was the pill, even though there are warnings on it that you'll commit suicide, and they don't allow air traffic controllers to take it. But I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Why do I want to cut myself until I die? I was watching TV like a year ago, and I quit smoking, taking this pill once before, and I hear this, it's like 11 o'clock at night. It's like, do you, or has someone you've known, tried to commit suicide, or has committed suicide by taking the pill Chantix? If you have, then you may have a lawsuit. And I've just swallowed the pill. Like I'm like the cat who ate the canary, you know? But for some reason on this round, I just took it a little bit longer, and it floored me. So I got into Bravo. You know, I just took a meeting last week with an agent, and so we were talking. So, you know, what kind of TV do you like? And I'm like, I really don't watch a lot of TV. And they're like, well, you should. And I'm like, you know what I'm gonna take from this meeting? That you're telling me I should watch more television. You know, I've never once been told that in my life before. Watch more TV. Okay, you know? So that meeting didn't really go that well. Don't tell me what to do. What shows should I be watching? Okay, because True Blood. What else?
A Game of Thrones.
Not all that. Supernatural it would be a bit gay for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Breaking Bad. How about Modern Family? Is that good? How's Mad Men? Good stuff. Because now I can just go get. See, also too, I don't like watching stuff because I don't like watching commercials. So what I do is I wait for 3 or 4 seasons and then I just get them on DVD. Because I did watch Dexter for a long time. I really, I auditioned. I don't watch things that I auditioned for and I didn't get. So that's why I don't watch TV, because I've auditioned for everything, I haven't got it. Where have I gone wrong? Red?
I have the mic back here.
Wait, where the hell are you? Okay, Red, you'll be next.
Sorry.
No, not a problem.
So when did you realize that Buffy and the whole Joss Whedon verse was actually going to be a thing and important and big?
Honestly, I think I still am, because Joss has become this big, awesome black hole, this gravity thing, I knew that we had something special with the show. Allie, Sarah, and I watched the first episode that they had done was the witch episode before the pilot was done. So we kind of watched it and we're like, oh my God, because we had no idea. We all were young actors and kind of booked this show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And even the network wanted to change the name to The Slayer, and Joss is like, suck it. No, it's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I think he actually may have said that. Suck it. So it's still I'm still kind of really learning that, It's awesome. It's I see we have a Trekkie here, Hi. Oh well, whatever. Same thing. It's on a spaceship. My bad. I like spaceship rides.
Is there anything you wish you could have done as Xander or would have happened to Xander that didn't?
I'm pretty sure I got together with all the girls. So there's that, I think season 7, I would have had Xander be a little more in it and a little funnier, because then all of a sudden, we've got the very funny Tom Link, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm the funny guy, I'm not doing my job as the funny guy. So, no, it's one of those things that, and trust me, if you ever gave Joss a suggestion, and even if it was a great suggestion, he would do the opposite of that suggestion. And and Tony Head would, I remember like the first couple seasons would have like, I've got this great idea, and Joss would, that's okay, that's interesting. And Joss has this way, like he stands, it's kind of like, he's kind of hunches. Well, I'll take that into consideration. Okay, great. Funny. You don't give Joss Whedon script notes.
quick, I don't know if somebody asked you this already. When you auditioned for Buffy, like what did they have you do? Like, you know, because
I did the scene in the pilot from the one where I say, hey, hey, wait, you forgot your steak. I did that scene and then a different scene. But when I auditioned for it, I went in for the casting director, and I was doing it the way that I am, and then she gave me the note of like, bring it down, more subdued. So then she said, that was like probably at noon. She's like, come back at 4 o'clock, the callbacks are at 4, and I met Joss and everyone then. So I kind of walked into the room, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And Gail Berman was our producer, and I'm like, who you talking to? Tell them they owe me money, and I haven't forgotten. And then I did the scene the way that I was instructed by the casting director. And then Joss is like, okay, stop. He's like, that guy that just walked in here, do it that way. And I'm like, okay. So then I did it that way, and I got a phone call about an hour later saying that I was testing, which is kind of like, that's where things get really kind of real, where you sign your deal and stuff. And so it was a Fox show, so I went to Fox, and it was the first time I'd ever tested for a show before. And there were like 8 Xanders there, And I'm like, I didn't, it's like, that's weird. So then I was a little nervous, but I remember I chased after Buffy with some scene, and I ended up sitting on the president of Fox's lap. And they gave the note, so they allowed 2 of us to go forward. And that was on a Friday, and then so we had to wait until Monday to go to the WB. So it was just a weekend of sitting on the toilet, Oh, God. And then I found out later, but I had taken this general meeting with the head of casting at the WB like 2 months prior. So the test ended up being in her office. So when I walked in, I'm like, oh my God, I know this place. And I nailed it. I'm halfway through it, I'm like, oh my God, Nikki, you're nailing this right now, Like this is the last step. You are fucking nailing this. So then I do it, and I kind of go out, and I'm like, I just nailed that, And so it's me and this guy. He's had this like long hair, and they came out. It was like 10 minutes later. They had to sit there together, and they're like, all right, Nicholas, you can go home. We're going to torture this guy a little bit more. And what had happened was he was actually the first choice, and then I nailed it. And since he was the first choice and I had hopscotched him, they were going to give him one more chance to see if he can do what I just did. And he didn't, and the next morning I found out at about 10 o'clock. On my way to getting an omelet. So it was great. Is there a Ghostbuster in the house? There he is.
If you had not gotten the part of Xander, do you think your career would be where it is today?
Oh, God, no. Come on. No, I mean, I was, no. That's the thing about acting. It takes skill and it takes luck, And I was in the right place at the right time, with the right attitude. So no, I would not. I would probably be bartending somewhere.
Bartending is not a bad deal.
No, it's not. It's not horrible. Something I said, invisible guy. Copy that. Okay, my bad. I can't see. Is there a microphone? Is it? Oh, hi. There's a microphone. Oh, question right here. Go hit it. No.
I don't know. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll repeat it.
Even though you said you're not really a comics guy, if you could pick, oh hey, cool microphone. Hey. Okay, this is probably better now, right? Okay. If you could pick any superpower at all, what in your wildest imagination would you pick?
How to, Well, I think that I would just like personally is to be able to touch a book and then to gain all the knowledge from that book just by touching it, because I'm lazy. Maybe I would probably. Urinate radioactive. I've actually got this great idea for a short for a short cartoon, and I'll just tell it. I haven't even written it yet, but it's a cartoon. It's this guy. He gets up. He's blind, and he gets up out of bed, and he keeps hitting everything. You know, he hits his like nightstand. He's like, ow, you know, and he brushes his teeth, and he hits his couch. He's like, ow, and then he opens the front door, and his like walking stick is right there, and it's a lifesaver. So when he closes the door, he doesn't know that, but he literally. He walks, no one touches him because he's cutting everything in half, you know? Like, you know, planes are falling from the sky, and he's like cutting cars in half, and he just, wherever he walks, he's like, fuck, you know? It's like, and then, you know, he does his thing, goes to the market, gets his paper or his orange, whatever, walks back, and then closes the door, and then he hits his leg again on the couch. Ow! So, because he's so used to everyone just getting out of his way. So that's kind of, yeah. So that would be my... I don't want to fly, you know. I like being me. I guess I really am Xander, you know. I really just want to be heard. Microphone man, what do you got? Anybody? Any takers?
I got one.
You got a taker? Okay.
Do you watch Robot Chicken?
I have not seen Robot Chicken. I know. Listen, guys. My TV watching is not on par.
Well, I thought you would have, since it was from a former cast member.
Oh yeah, no, I love Seth. It has nothing to do with my feelings towards Seth at all. Outside of the fact he hasn't asked me to do it. But outside of that, I'm not a huge TV guy. But you know, again, DVDs will change all that, especially after that meeting with the agent. I need to watch more TV. Do we have a taker?
Over here.
Oh, hello.
How was it working with your brother on the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
It was wonderful. You know, I mean, he did art department for the show, so he was always behind the scenes. But then doing that particular episode, it was great for us because he was like, he really appreciated what I did for the, you know. He's like, oh wow, you know, and just kind of like coaching him and stuff. And then him doing my stunts was great. You know, it was a magical time. I mean, that show was like there was like magic all around it. Just amazing feelings. And it brought twin brothers closer together. How are we doing on time?
About 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
We have 20 minutes?
Yes.
Is this an hour and a half panel?
Yes.
Wow. I did not know that. Wow, let's do this thing then. All right. Front row. Okay.
What do you see yourself doing in about 10 years from now?
Hopefully I'll be back here in Albuquerque. That's great. I did a one-man show where do you guys know David Sedaris? So he has this thing called the Santaland Diaries, which is his Christmas thing about him working at Macy's as an elf. So I've done that for the last 2 years, where I play Sedaris, and there's this one point where where he's talking to, where he's like, hold on, today they taught us to say in sign language, it's like you are a very pretty boy. I love you. Do you want a surprise? And I would use, you know, it was a small, so I would use the people in the audience, and I would always do it to a guy, you know, who's sitting in the front row. It was fun to play. It's fun to play David Sedaris. I love playing gay elves.
Since you like to read so much, what's your favorite genre of fiction?
Probably like psychological and like mystery stuff. Yeah, I love to be kind of spooked, you know. I need to. My best friends love sci-fi, and for some reason as a kid I saw Star Wars and it scared me. And then I got, like, being on a spaceship made me all claustrophobic. And then when they were out in outer space, I couldn't breathe. So, it's a mystery, you know.
So there were obviously a few episodes in Buffy the Vampire Slayer where you were, like, really playing Xander, but you weren't Xander, you know, like the vampire or whatever.
Right.
I was wondering, like, was that really fun for you, or was it just weird?
It was fun because it's kind of like when I played Renfield. You know, when you got to kind of just be a little bit away, it's great to take like a little break, you know, and to wear, and also the big leather coat that they got from Barney's. I took mine, and then I had it for like 3 or 4 years, and it was so well worn. And I went to Tennessee and I left it there. I know, and it was just like made for my body. And then I went back to work and I realized there's a double. So I snuck in the wardrobe and stole it, and I have it at my house right now. I also still have my shoes from my slippers from the musical that I danced in, yeah. Clark's, and I wear them, you know? That's all I took. It's true. Have you seen my wardrobe as Xander? There's not much that I wanted, you know?
I don't know if somebody's asked you this
Oh,
already.
sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, go.
I don't know if anybody's asked you this already, but have you ever had a run-in with like fan fiction before, like on the internet?
Is that the stuff where have you had a run-in with fan fiction? Is that where like Xander and Spike and Giles are having a 3-way orgy? Things like that? No! I have no idea what you're talking about. Who do you think starts it, dude?
So this one was for her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, I am gonna so kill you.
So she wanted to know how you felt about towards the end when Willow went bad and you were the only one who was able to bring her back. How you felt about Xander actually getting to be the hero for once.
It was nice. I mean, it was, you know, it affected a lot of people, you know, and I get a lot of yellow crayons. I remember that was actually when we shot that up on that cliff. I remember that was the last day of shooting for that particular season, and you know, and there was always like even though we were all really tired and stuff, there was always like a sadness, you know, even though I knew that we were going to come back. And I would take, you know, like I would go to Yosemite with my mom and, you know, just take trips and stuff. And by like the end of the 3rd month, I was ready to put on my Xander clothes again. And I think that's one of the things. After year 7, I was shooting a pilot for Fox, so that didn't go, but I wasn't able to say bye properly. I literally had to run and then go shoot that new show. And I still have dreams. I have dreams that we're doing season 8. Like, you know, and then I have dreams sometimes we're doing season 8 and Joss didn't ask me to be in it, you know? So, but, you know, saying goodbye properly is a really important thing to do. And I didn't do it. I just pretend like it wasn't happening. Yes.
As an actor, what kind of method do you use? And second part to that is specifically what work did you do going into Xander?
None, really. The method that I use is pretending to be that person. I mean, because, you know, when I played the rapist, it wasn't, I mean, we did a scene where there was a very brutal rape scene, but then outside of that, either how it's written, he was, like 3 people. He was angry, he was an adult, normal, and he was a kid. So it's just like, I just kind of like pretend like if I'm a kid, then I'm just a kid, and like I'll just pull things that I know from my life that I've experienced. And then comedy is just comedy, you know? Either you can do it or you can't do it. And I can do it fairly well. So, I mean, that's something that you can't be taught. It's just like, but like the drama stuff, it's, you know, I mean, who hasn't gone through a breakup before? You know, I mean, we have all of these memories that are kind of in our DNA. A little bit, yeah, but it's not like not like Marlon Brando. You know what I mean? So it's just because I want to keep my sanity. It is called acting. It's not called reeling.
Over here.
Hi.
Hi. So, when were you the most freaked out when you were like filming an episode? Like, was there an episode you ever got like really scared like while filming? It was so creepy.
You know, it's funny. The first time that I saw the guys from Hush, and actually Doug Jones is here, and he played one of those guys. When I saw those, and then when they had them up when they were floating down the hallway, because it was one of those things that was so unique. It's like I need to see what this, because they built this huge, kind of like just track, and they put them all up on these things, and so and I see this kind of, and I'm like, what the flock is going on right now? But also, so we have our trailers here, and here's a makeup trailer. So as they're in makeup for 5 or 6 hours, we're just having normal conversations with them, from them as humans to then them as a demon. So that, obviously, that disbelief aspect is a tad broken, or that belief, because it was easy to disbelieve. But then when you see them in the character, and when I saw them floating, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, this is gonna be weird. So I think, that's the only time. But then, no, with outside of that, we shot at there's this hospital in downtown Los Angeles. There's actually a psychiatric hospital that Hollywood uses a lot. And I've shot there 4 or 5 times. And we shot, I think, there 2 or 3 times for Buffy. And it's like, do you guys ever watch Ghost Adventures with Ghost? Is it Ghost Hunters with Zach? It's on Travel Channel. Zach it's Ghost Adventures, yeah, just the big douche. Yeah. Don't run! I'm gonna confront this thing. But they've actually been there, and they have like these like catacombs and stuff so when I wasn't working, I would walk around there. So that's like real shit, and you would hear like chairs move and stuff, and ugh. So I did that, but that has nothing to do with the show. I just was really scared. By the way, I want you guys to know that this is my first hour-and-a-half talk. Thank you, yeah. I've never done an hour-and-a-half before. Fill the space, people. Run, Orange. Wow. Someone get us some water and some oxygen.
What was it like working with Amy Adams?
That's funny. She's a trip. She was amazing, because she like really, it was like watching her and then Lauren Ambrose get into the character, like, it was just like action, boom. And it's almost like their eyes kind of glaze over and they become like this like acting robot, you know what I mean? It was like fun it's like I learned a lot from both those. And also watching Lauren Ambrose too, kind of just switch characters. But Amy she was awesome. She was a trip. An amazing actress. But crazy like the rest of us. What was that? Was there a question? Okay.
Yeah. Do you ever find yourself?
Yes, I do, and it's 7-Eleven. It's 2 blocks away, and it's 105 degrees. So fuck off.
Do you ever find yourself using Whedonisms, like adding adge to the end of a word?
Yeah. No. Though I did learn a lot of vocabulary. Like, what was one that? Oh. There was one, I think it was the Frankenstein episode where I go in, and I'm doing some recon work, and there was something about a prodigious porn collection, and like there's small words that were in the scripts that I've taken with me, but not the edge. Like give me a word that was used like that. Slayage, yes. Oh God, I'm hungry-age. See, I'm just not good at it. Oh, I gotta go sleepage. I'm tired. Yeah, see, I'm horrible. I gotta go peeage. It's not working at all. It's a good thing I act.
Do you ever still go back and watch the episodes?
I haven't, and I was at a friend's house, and her younger sister was watching it on, it was the pilot episode. It was the slow motion scene with Julie Benz, and they're all about to go into the bronze. And I'm like, holy shit, this is a good fucking show. And also, too, it was like a diary, so there's a little sadness, I think, that I would have, you know? Again, I'm very sensitive. One of the things I know what I was going to talk about that I was in the middle and I forgot, with Joss killing people and stuff, Eric Balfour, who played my best friend on the pilot, Joss wanted to actually, this is how we like to fuck with people, he wanted to put Eric's name on the credits as a series regular. And so his first killing that he wanted to say, screw you fans, is he wanted to kill it, you know, by the third episode, what you thought you knew, you don't know at all, you know? But the network said you're not allowed to do that. Josh's like, okay, damn it. But, you know, that's really great that he knew from the beginning, from the onset, that he wanted to kind of dangle and give and then take away. I mean, God, I wouldn't want to be married to him, but I'll watch his stuff.
Have you watched any of Joss's other shows, and what do you think of them?
Where are you? Hi.
Hi.
Yes. I wasn't a huge fan of Dollhouse, but everything else I just loved. I mean, and it's just, you know, Dollhouse wasn't particularly my genre. And then Firefly I loved. You know, I was actually supposed to play Captain Tight Pants. It was, I think, season 5. He came to my trailer. He's like, Nikki, I've written a pilot for you. It's a Western in space, and I want you to play the captain. And I'm like, sweet. And then I think it was season 7, he came, he's like, Fox wants me to do it now. So, but he actually wrote Captain Tight Pants for me. Nah, no, I would have loved to have done it. But I was on Buffy. Yeah, Joss is amazing, and I can't wait to see, I mean, the Avengers is going to rock. It's going to rock the jock.
Hi again.
Hi.
I have a question. Yes, I'm an avid Buffy fan. I've been watching it since. As the seasons progressed, I noticed, especially once Buffy started getting it on with Riley, the whole sexual thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Like, was there like a big controversy over that? And this was years ago, but like, you know how the show started getting a lot more.
Yeah, well, there was.
Risqué?
I mean, well, Joss would do this stuff because he wanted, you know, Joss always got his way. So what he would do, because he knew that he would get notes on certain stuff, he would have, let's say, like, if he knew that he needed a piece in like that, or if he needed to say bitch or something at a certain, he would have 3 or 4 bitches that he would just throw them in the script that he knew that he didn't need. And so he would get, like, the notes from the network, okay, you have to take away some, you know? Because if you just had the one thing and they said you have to take it away, he learned his lesson. So he would just put in shit he didn't even want. It's like, all right, I'll get rid of these ones. And then once we went to, UPN, it's called Standards and Practices over at the network. And when we moved to UPN, Joss was stoked because there was no standard and practices at UPN. And they were just so happy to have us, you know? That, I mean, 6 and 7 is where shit got really kind of risque, you know? 5 minutes. So the Snoopy dance will happen it's gonna happen. I was in Philadelphia with Kelly last weekend, wanting to kill myself because of the Chantix. And it's funny, it's not suicidal thoughts, you're just so miserable, because my insides are freezing, but I was flop sweating, you know, that you just want to die. But Kelly did the panel, we did a panel together, and Kelly and I did the Snoopy dance together. It was pretty adorable. And then I saw a picture, and I'm like, he's doing it better than I'm doing it. I was coaching him. We'll do one more question, and then I'll do the Snoopy dance. So you're it. This is it. It better be good. No pressure.
Well, I was just going to ask
Otherwise,
you to close with
Star
your
Wars
favorite
is gonna
line.
Have at you.
If you have a favorite line, I was just going to ask you to close with your favorite line, if you have one.
I mean, I think my favorite line is, "Oh, this will not please the master." Bader. "Oh, this will not please the master." Bader. But the thing about Xander is, like, if you go, he had so many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lines. It's, I mean, the thing from, I'm sick of being the guy with the funny syphilis. You know, I'm tired of being everybody's butt monkey. It's like if you, I remember the first line, it's like, you know, I laugh in the face of danger and then I hide till it goes away. You know? Like every episode there was at least 5 gyms, you know? And that's why I love this character so much. I don't even, I see, there were like, every script, they were like, I'll get that. My bad. It's like there was a nugget, or at least 5. I mean, I was really fortunate. I mean, my character was a lot of fun. But not as much fun as you guys are in Albuquerque. Penises rock. Penis rocks. All right, Snoopy dance. Here we go. Well, you need to see the film. Okay, it's a long fucking table. I mean, is this ever going to be filled with people at one time? Okay, here we go. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys. Bye. You were great. I got my chocolate. I got my wood chocolate.
Thanks for coming.
Let's eat.